Hey guys, it's Heather from Kell Blvd, and today I am doing our May lettering video. If you are new, our lettering journal has a yearly challenge in it. This journal has been restocked, by the way. It's available on our website, so if you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the description. But it has a yearly, monthly lettering challenge for each month, and we're going to be doing May today. So I'm going to take this page out, and if you are following along with this challenge, then you can use this video to help you practice the different words. If you are new to lettering and you need more of the basic lettering, I teach that in our online lettering class. You can find it at kellblvd.teachable.com. This is the code letter50 exclamation, and it will get you 50% off of the course, so that you can practice. And we are going to go here to our practice pages, and we're going to use these. I'm going to do all of the May letters in one video. I don't recommend this. Your hand will start hurting. If it was, honestly, what I would recommend is that each day you write the word of the day a couple of times to practice that word. I'm going to write each word once just to show you how to do it. But it's not how I would actually do this if I was following the challenge. So let's get started. This is a Tombow brush pen. We have these on our website as well. This one is a hard tip, okay? So I'm going to start here at the midline, and I'm going to go upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, connect it to that C, loop it through, and leave my tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, straighten to my F, loop it around into a downstroke, upstroke, straighten to my E, downstroke, straighten to my R, loop it right above that midline, downstroke, tail. Go into my E, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, straighten to your E, downstroke, tail. And I'm actually going to take this page off the discs because it is easier to letter when you don't have to worry about running off the page. All right, so then we're going to go downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, and then my E, I'm actually going to connect it over here and let my tail come up. And then I'm going to go upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail. All right, next we have the word birthday. So I'm going to go upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, bring my tail through the B, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, cross the T, dot the I. Then I'm not going to try, if I fit anniversary here, I think it'll be T. So I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to do anniversary on the next line. So we're going to go upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. I'm going to connect my E right here and then straighten to my R, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, dot my I. Next we have celebration, which is another long word, so I'm going to go ahead and go here. So we're going to go upstroke, downstroke, straighten to our E, straighten to our L, straighten to our E, straighten to our B. So that's a lot of connecting right there. And you're going to go upstroke, downstroke, bring it through, straighten to your R, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail. Cross the T, dot the I. Our next word is interview, so I'm going to go try and squeeze it up here. So we're going to go upstroke, downstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, into our E, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, into our E, downstroke, upstroke. Cross our T, dot our I's. Now here you'll notice that the V and the I didn't make them connect. That's just kind of my style. If you wanted them to connect, I would probably just add a tail like that. Our next word is party. I think I can fit it right here. So we're going to go downstroke, downstroke, loop it through. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through. Downstroke, tail, downstroke, loop it through. Cross your T. Next, we're going to do class. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstrokes, tail, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through. Next, we're going to have concert. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, upstroke, into your E, R, and then T. Next, we have workshop. Upstroke, downstroke. I just said that backwards. Have I been saying this backwards the whole time? Downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, straight into your R, downstroke, straight into your K, downstroke. And then upstroke, downstroke, tail. Upstroke, downstroke, loop it through all the way into your H. Upstroke, downstroke, tail. Downstroke, upstroke, loop it through. Downstroke, upstroke, loop it through. All right, next we have the word seminar. Upstroke, downstroke, loop it through into your E. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, into your R, tail. Next we have charity. Upstroke, downstroke, into your H, downstroke. Upstroke, tail. Upstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, tail, upstroke, loop it through. Cross your T, dot your I. All right, now we have the word graduation. A lot of these words this month are really long. So we're going to go upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, straight into your R, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, tail. Cross your T, dot your I. Next we have ceremony. Upstroke, downstroke, into your E, straight into your R, straight into your E. Then we're going to go downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, tail, downstroke, downstroke, and then we're running out of room. Ceremony. Next we have awards, so I'm going to try and fit it right here. Upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, straight into your R, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, and then make sure those connect. Next we have gathering. I'm going to try and fit it right here. upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, and then loop it around like it's a G. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, straight into your H, upstroke, downstroke, tail, straight into your E, loop it around, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through. Gathering. All right. The back is, our next word is the word holiday. So we're going to go upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, straight into an L, downstroke, tail, excuse me, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through. Next we have family, downstroke, upstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, tail, straight into your L, and then downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail. Family. Next we have friend, upstroke, downstroke, tail, straight into your R, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, straight into your E, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail. Next we have sports, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, straight into your R, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through. All right, now we have the word shower. I don't know if I can fit it here, but we're going to try. S, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, upstroke, into your E, and then straight into your R. Normally I would not have made it that skinny, but I was trying to work around the punches. All right, next we have the word performance. This is the long one. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through into your E, straight into your R, straight into your F. And then bring this out, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, straight into your R, downstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, tail, and into your E. All right, now we have the word book, upstroke, downstroke, into your O, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, into your K, upstroke, downstroke, tail. Now we're going to do the word read, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, tail, into our E, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, downstroke, tail. Now we have club, upstroke, downstroke, into your L, downstroke, downstroke, into your B, upstroke, downstroke. All right, now we have shopping, downstroke, into your H, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, downstroke, downstroke, bring out your tail, downstroke, downstroke, bring out your tail, downstroke, tail, downstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, tail. Next we have volunteer, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through into your L, downstroke, tail, downstroke, tail, downstroke, into your E, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through. Next we have the word haircut, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, loop it through, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, tail. Cross your T, dot your I. Next we have the word pedicure, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, loop it through, straighten to your E, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, straighten to your R, downstroke, into your E. I swear the more I say these words, I just feel like I'm tongue twisting. Next we have manicure, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, tail, downstroke, tail, upstroke, downstroke, excuse me, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, into your R, downstroke, into your E. And then our last is self-care. So we're going to go upstroke, downstroke, into our E, into our L, and into our F. And then C, downstroke, straight into your R, straight into your E. That's a lot of connecting. All right, so those are our May words. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write May so that I remember what month they are. Now, you have all of these pages in this lettering planner to letter these words and to practice them over and over and over. I would suggest not doing what I just did where you do them all at one time. Your hand will start hurting, and honestly, you need to practice the words more than once. You can practice here. It's nice to do the words the first time on this big space, but then in the back, we have these smaller pages, and this is to give you an idea of what it's going to be like to write those words in your planner. So this is your monthly size, vertical, dashboard, and horizontal. So maybe you have a birthday and you want to be able to write birthday in a monthly view, and you want to write it pretty small. So you may not even write it like using these lettering lines. Maybe you want to fit it just in this top line. So I would practice coming to these pages, and before you try to write it in your regular planner, these are for you to practice so that you can see if you can fit words into the space that you need to fit them in. So you can practice like that. Or if you want it in the vertical or the dashboard or the horizontal, practice writing in the space that you're going to write it in your planner, because it's very different writing it in the big space and then writing it in the planner space. So that's what these pages are for. If you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to grab one of these lettering planners, if you haven't grabbed one yet, you can head over to kellofaplan.com and grab yours. We have the lettering planner. We do still have some of the brush markers, and we also have this great little pen loop that allows you to keep your brush markers with your notebook at all times on kellofaplan.com. Happy planning!